Hey there. Well, welcome. Good to start streaming today at the regular time, roughly 11:30 a.m. Actually, pretty much exactly 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on the west coast of California. It's a little, you could tell it's a little cloudy. It's overcast today. The weather is very. Usually, it's really good weather this time of year. Very predictably good. So, and it's not bad. It's just cold. It's just cold, cloudy. But it's supposed to get warm again this week, and then cold again. I don't know. I am looking forward to a couple things coming up. Next week we should have the Sim Update 5, and God knows it could only be an improvement. Most likely. Well, actually, that's not true. Sim Update 4 is okay, just not consistently. We'll have to see. We're gonna be playing it later today. We'll see what happens. Oh, look at that! It's a Diet Coke, freshly poured into a glass with ice. Oh, let's try it out. Let's try it out. Let's see what we got here today. I don't even know. I literally just opened that can. All right. Enjoy your Diet Coke if you're drinking. Hey, it's Saturday. You might be late. It might be later in the day for you. Maybe it's time for a adult beverage, a little Scotch whiskey, some vodka, beer, wine. I don't care. I don't even want to know. All right, what do we got here? We got the Twitch. We got the Himalayan salt lamp. We got the Twitch glitch sign. We got the love Lego. There's a bunch of guitars hanging around. What is the show going to be about? Who knows? I've never done this before, except for the 650 previous times. It'll be a lot like those times, in which we start by flying around in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I guess that's more like flying around. Whee! I don't know where we're going to go. We're going to fly in. Well, I was watching iShowSpeed earlier for some strange reason, and he gets recommended to me. And he's in Trinidad, Tobago, so I thought maybe we'll do an island flight. It's definitely easier on the sim than these big city flights. I know we've done. It's been a while. Okay, we'll be flying around. Then there's going to be the big brain games. That's me playing the Quirtle, and the group potentially if anybody's showing up. The Quirtle, the Revealed, the Tightrope Trivia, the Reunion, the New York Times Connections, and the Octurtle in that order. We do that. It's like 10, 15 minutes of sitting around playing games. Then there's the short break. I run my mid-roll, and then during which I'll be madly setting up my piano, which is over there, slapping my piano down on a stand right here to reform this area into Ken's Piano Lounge, in which I will be playing piano as usual, mainly, almost entirely instrumental, relaxing, hopefully tunes, familiar standards on the piano. That goes about 15 minutes. The entire stream runs a little less than 2 hours most of the time. I get what I needed to do done in that 2 hour time frame. And of course, I stream 5 days a week. It's a lot of streaming. But as I say, it's not hard to do because pretty much all the streams are exactly the same. Oh, I forgot to mention the most important tool that we have here at our disposal to allow for the smooth flying today. And that is the beautiful blue Bluetooth controller. It is beautiful. It's blue, and it does communicate via Bluetooth. All right, moving along. Right, and the Diet Coke we've done already. Pretty much it. Oh yeah, here. This is an Apple iPhone 17e. Hey Apple, can I get a sponsorship? I don't know. Is that how that works? I don't know. Maybe. You never know. I don't even know what an Apple sponsorship would be. They send me a sticker in the mail. That has an apple on it. Maybe a poster. I've already got an Apple poster. All right. So I'm just basically wasting a little time before I start the flying around today. Not wasting time. It's called an intro. Intro's not a waste of time. We've got to have one every time. Might as well do the intro. You know what I'm saying? We'll just do the intro. It's not like I memorized the intro. But anyway, I'm having a lovely Saturday. It's very relaxing around here. It's quiet, nice. I'm looking forward to flying around, doing some brain games and some music. So I guess it's time to get started. Jeez, Louise. All right, so where exactly is... Okay, let's pick the plane. First of all, it's not going to be the Concorde because I'm pretty sure that would cause an instant crash. But thanks for updating it. I think I can figure out... I'll get a better video card. It's under control. Okay, we're going to fly the Optica. We've never had any problems flying the Optica. And it's, as you know, a great A lovely lovely sightseeing plane. I guess we'll do the yellow Solaris. It's a bright color. I like it. Okay. And as I mentioned, I was watching iShow Speed, and in fact, he's still streaming right now. I don't know if people know who this is, but he's a pretty famous, very famous streamer, YouTube and Twitch and everything. He makes a lot of money, and he does a lot of IRL travel stuff. And he is very famous. You may think, I've never heard of him. Yeah, well, you're one of the few people then. Right, where is Trinidad and Tobago? Right, I'm gonna have to look it up. Maybe we'll do a Tobago, right? Right, Trinidad and Tobago, TT helipad. But I mean, that's got to be near the right area. Yeah, it's in southern. I know, but this is the right island here, correct? So this, I think, right? No, is it, or is it this? Well, one's Trinidad and the other's Tobago, right? Let's do this one. Okay. All right. So there's there. Are we going to cold start this plane? I think we got time. We're going to start at parking ramp 3, ANR Robinson International Airport. Okay. It looks like a scattered cloud, typical kind of day there. We're going to have to see how this goes. But based on previous experience, we should not have some of the technical difficulties. Yesterday was a completely scuffed stream. In fact, there barely was even a stream yesterday. Oh, this is one of these nicely done fancy airports. So we should have a look around here. I mean, you can see here's the plane. There's the plane. I'm just smashing the wing. There's the plane, bright yellow. But this airport's kind of fancy looking. The ANR Robinson International. It's got some planes there. You got a big 767 over there. You got another 67 or Airbus over there. Big thing. All right, that's kind of fun. Okay, this is doing our inspection here. It's all good. Skip the inspection. You know, test the fuel. All right, what do we need here? Okay, there's a master switch that's up there, but we don't need that yet. All right, fuel. Let's see. Handbrake is on. Mixture to full. Throttle to cracked. Fuel valve to open. That's the fuel dump valve. We might need that later, but we'll see. There's a master battery somewhere. All right, tank is on both. Oh, right here. So, battery master and generator. Fuel pump on. Beacon lights. Where's beacon lights? Do we have beacons? Panel lights. Nav lights. We're going to get ready to start. Meanwhile, probably want to get the Garmin booted up here. Is this thing on? Put that on standby. Let the Garmin boot up a bit. Okay, that all looks good. We're about to start the engine. Okay. All right. Starting it is actually, there's a little, it's really hard to tell, but there's a key up here. Starts right up. It's what you call an enclosed fan design, or encased, I'm not sure what it is called, but there's a fan inside that fairing. Which helps with making it quiet and more efficient, I guess. Your grandma's on this app. Yeah, I agree. I should calm down, but I mean, could you please send some downers in the mail as soon as possible? The problem is that this Diet Coke is stimulating me beyond all possibility. All right, let's move along with talking on the radio. All right, this is wherever the hell we are, Robinson. I think it's Tobago. But it might be Trinidad. We're just gonna fly around, you know. We're gonna fly. It's a sightseeing flight. Does it come with the special Coke? No, but I hope to go to Miami this year. I hear that they hand that out at the airport. I haven't been there, but I've heard that. You know. All right, parking brake. The parking brake looks like a car parking brake. It's that thing down there, and that's a parking brake. So you click that, and the parking brake goes down. It's kind of cool. All right, give us some more power here. Which way do we want to taxi? Okay, so we want to turn around here. Anyway, this plane looks, it's. I mean, I don't know what we say it looks like. Frankly, it's kind of. I guess they're a real plane, but based on, as usual, you know, the very radical design elements, the huge glass. And in general, the way it is, I don't think it's I don't think they could have possibly made very many of these. All right, where's the runway? It goes all the way down there and all the way down to there. We really don't need the whole runway for this little plane. I mean, it's for big planes. So we're just gonna get clearance. All right, slightly positive trim, flaps to the first position. That's 10 degrees. You can kind of see the trailing flaps there.
Kinch 9er, QNH 101 tree, departing straight out approved. Cleared for takeoff, runway 29er.
Acknowledge clearance. All right, we're gonna just take off. This is 29er here.
Takeoff, runway 29er.
We do not need anywhere near the whole runway.
9er.
So it's like from here, get the engines going. You think, are we gonna take off? I mean, the plane basically takes off without touching anything in this trim because of the slight positive trim. I'm gonna keep it from going up. It does not have retractable gear. But you can see how huge that runway is and how little of it we use. We use like a fifth of it. But I mean, it's for jets. I want to just fly around this island and see if there's any like cool cities. Sometimes they have like a fort. Maybe this anymore. I definitely see that's where they store the jet fuel for the airport. Probably other fuels. Lots of tanks. That's a pretty decent sized tank on there. All right, we're gonna reduce power. Yeah, that was takeoff power. All right, so now we're on cruise power. What does it say there? There's Crown Point, whatever that means. I mean, that's the name of the place. But there's the airport here. I see something down there that looks like almost let's see what it is. It's a tower of some kind. But this is definitely for these Caribbean islands. It's a big size, a pretty decent size community here. I guess this is one of the more populated islands, and it's definitely a good size. Why are my seats empty? Where the hose? Yeah, it's true. I could fit at least 2 hoses in here. I don't know. Sometimes the hose are just a distraction from the beautiful scenery. Well, all right, I'm sure I've flown. Okay, I just want to see what this is over here. And I'm trying not to get too much altitude because the whole point of my little excursions is to get a feeling for what it looks like on the ground. So you won't see me flying at 36,000 feet like many flight sim pilots, that's for sure. I'm just trying to get my trim set so that the nose isn't too light. This plane is nice. I believe, yeah, it does have an autopilot. We're probably not going to need it. What else do we need here? I don't need some of these lights on. Hello. I need these things to do anything. We don't need those. Or those. Alright. Let's see. This should be in... Alright. So, yeah, I believe it is what I thought. It's like a power generation facility. These islands do have a lot of wind power, but it looks like this one also has some kind of fossil fuel burning activity going on there. Little islands like that wouldn't be nuclear. Obviously, it's very rare in a little island like this. But it's a pretty place. I'm sure there's quite a few. Could I fly in Georgia, the country? Absolutely. Absolutely. What part of Georgia? In fact, since you requested it, and I don't really give a shit, I'll show you how easy it is. What is the main airport in Georgia? I'm going to ask Google. Main airport in the country, Tbilisi International. Okay, obviously. Am I misspelling it? ICAO. Yeah, I am misspelling it. Let me see if I spell it right, if I can find it. But no, it's a great idea, actually. And again, when people suggest things, there's an air base too. Okay, so there's a bunch of things right now. Now it's nighttime there. Yeah. I figured it out finally. Look, I got up here. As you know, it is nighttime there, but I like flying during the day. Just gives us a better idea of what we're flying over. Okay, so where is the actual city? I guess it's all around here. Let me just check this. UG, it's Lohini. I just want to kind of know where I am. Tbilisi International Airport. Lohini. Oh, there's a river. Okay. And where is the actual city? Okay, so it's to the west of this airport, I believe. It's up here. Okay, you can see it there. I just want to figure that out. All right, here we are, departing. We already did a cold start. Well, we're flying over your house then. Let's see if you recognize, since you're here, I want to see if you kind of recognize the train. Now, obviously, it's nighttime there, but I changed it to day as much as you see the ground during the day, and you can easily do that. All right, so we're correct. Flaps are ready to go. Let's see, we got fuel is good, mixture is good, that's all on, everything is ready to go. See, now we have a hottie, all right. At least it's something. All right, full power, then release the handbrake. Right, left, you see I'm doing my little rudders here to keep us down the middle of the road here. But again, these planes take off at about 60 knots. And it will do it by itself. I'm not even pulling back on the stick. And the nose gets real light. I pull a little back on the stick. And you're flying. All right, so this is the main airport. All right, so flaps up again. We don't have landing here. I imagine it's very pretty. I don't know if in-game there will be a lot of points of interest. I see there is a Tbilisi reservoir. We're going to go up there. We're going to go up there for sure. Yeah, I don't know. She might be a Tbilisi 10. I don't know. But she kind of looks, a little European from what I can tell. It's hard to tell. But, hello. She's fine. I'm okay. All right. Oh, and there's even some points of interest, so that's cool. All right. So that's, what does that say up there? This is the Kurtsanisi. I can't pronounce any of these names. I'm from Georgia. And if I was going to go to Georgia, I'd go to the coast, which is, a lot different. This is central Georgia. That's where Tbilisi is. Okay, what does that say up there? Okay, just different districts. What I want to see here is, as usual, I'm looking for where the train stations are. You can usually tell, train right away. Yeah, and I can definitely see this kind of ridge here. Yeah, and then there's some water there, but there's a much bigger reservoir up there in those hills there. We're gonna head up there. But you can see, you can obviously see a lot of trains. This looks like a commercial train, like freight, not people train. But the actual city of Tbilisi is up further to the west here. You can see up ahead. That's where it's marked. I guess it's along this river, so we're gonna dive down on the river. Yeah, what could she do? She can't leave, She can't just jump out of the plane, I mean, she could file a report, but we're already flying illegally. But it's just the virtual world, I don't know if there's any consequences. You can see there's this big ridge up here to the south. And then they got a river here. And there's a road that goes along the river to the south of the river. Pretty decent sized highway. Okay, oh yeah, I forgot I've got to turn my engine on. We're going to overspeed. Turn my engine up. Alright, the other thing you want to do, by the way, once you're in the air, you want to adjust your mixture. So you do this here. Because, whoops, that's not what I want to do. Mixture. Because otherwise you're burning too much. Alright, so we got apartments, fairly tall, good-sized residential living here, I imagine. A bit of a cookie cutter here. I imagine, there's a waterfront area. We're heading there. We're not at Tbilisi yet. It's kind of in a vale, you can kind of see there's hills to the south, the hills kind of all around, but it's kind of a relatively flat part. Yeah, I don't want to get a little there. Yeah, this is what it looks like from the inside. There's plenty of windows. Look, I don't know if I've ever seen her before, which is kind of interesting. They have different little training pilots or whatever. Okay, so here's we're getting to kind of the more. It looks really pretty in that there is, it's a very much of a riverside a waterfront community, and kind of hill too, which usually means people have good views. You know, it's not really flat. So watch out for the wires. But I'm guessing this is kind of the main downtown area here. Oh no, it's up ahead. But this looks like some kind of entertainment district. It still says Tbilisi up ahead, so we're not quite there yet. It's pretty big. But yeah, Georgia, I've heard Georgia's very pretty, especially, and as a tourist, it has quite a bit of coast that it gets really good weather. If you kind of like that kind of coastal resort feeling. But I don't know, people go to Tbilisi, right? Now we can say we have. I like to say I've been pretty much all major world capitals. There's this like park area down here with a traffic circle. And this is all like Riverfront Park. And that's probably a fancy bridge. It's not in the game, that bridge down there. And then this is, according to Microsoft Flight Simulator, kind of the central district here. The Bridge of Peace. That's fascinating. Thank you for the local colors, we like to say. But it's not actually built out. You can see it's kind of just an image from it's a satellite image. But yeah, it's quite. I'm surprised how hilly. It looks like a lot of these buildings are built up kind of up towards that hill, and then which means again means like in San Francisco, it means a lot of places have really great, amazing views, city views. Well, let's follow the city up the river a bit. But I do want to see if I can find where this reservoir is. At this point, it's up in the hills that way, and I don't know if we're going to see the dam. There's a lot more bridges. You can kind of see the European design of a bridge with a traffic circle at each end. That's very European. Speed about 90 knots, good speed. Again, really, this is really elaborate here. This looks like a very high traffic area here, and I bet there's some kind of monument here that's not really represented in the game, like in the middle there. Yeah, some areas have had a lot of manual effort to make them look realistic in terms of major European cities, but some are basically, they let the computer figure out what the buildings are supposed to look like. It still looks cool, but it's not that realistic. But you can see there are some custom buildings here. So, what does that say up there? Those are just marking like outlying districts. All right, let's see if I can find out where this reservoir is, because there should be a dam there. I want to see how far it is. You'll see it on the map here. It's right here to the east. All right, so we're gonna make this turn. It's really not far. It's just like and I imagine this is providing. Basically the entire water supply in the whole area. It looks like Napoleon's hat in real life. Napoleon's hat. That's fascinating. That's what you call local color. Again, thank you very much. Well, there's that, by the way, is supposed to be an arena. It doesn't look great. That round building there is probably. I'm sure that's where they play soccer. They play, football. It says something there. Okay, there's another district marked there. And again, if I could pronounce Georgian names. It is a former Soviet republic, so I believe, while there is a Georgian language, I think everyone speaks Russian. There is an old language, but I don't think, it got Sovietified in the 20th century. So there's a standardized, that kind of thing. Anyway, I don't know for sure, but that would make it hard to pronounce. But you do speak Georgian. Okay, good. Oh, good. I wasn't sure whether everyone spoke Russian or Georgian, or there was still a country language, because there isn't for a bunch of other countries that were former Soviet republics. They speak Russian, and they all had their own languages. Okay, so this. I think it's just the Tbilisi Reservoir, according to Google Maps here. But there are things on it. According to this, there's the Tbilisi Sea Club, somewhere around here, or down there. So I'm guessing there is recreational activity like boating and things like that. Well, it's pretty good size. You call it the Tbilisi Sea. I don't know if I call it a sea. It's big. Okay. It's definitely it's the largest body of water in the area, without a doubt. If you zoom out on Google Maps, there's a couple things to the northwest, but there's a way. This is the closest one that's near anybody. But I'm thinking, yeah, this is kind of like the Oops, what am I doing here? This. What is this? Okay, yeah, this is the Sea Club. The Tbilisi Sea Club is located on this little area here. So I guess these piers here. You probably rent a boat or something like that. You go boating on a nice day. Okay, I'm not. Okay, hold on a second, Larry. I don't want to crash. Let me see if I can see this. If I can fly over, don't tell me your address, but hold on, you gotta say legal. Oh, yeah, I'm getting results. Getting a result. Okay. Oh, okay. It's northwest of the reservoir. It's the other way. We turn around here. Northwest of the reservoir. We're heading southeast. But I can find that. So you're kind of in a district. It's not necessarily. Yeah, it's a little out of the main city area. But yeah, I didn't really notice that. But if you head up this side of the sea, we're gonna fly over that actual street. And we're going to wave at Hungry Schnitzel, and Hungry Schnitzel's going to wave back at us, and we're going to go, yeah, that was amazing. What a stream. Hey, sometimes I fly over my own house, and then while I'm actually flying over my house myself, I run out of my home and I look for myself, but I'm never there. I don't understand, I don't get it. What's our speed? 82. Okay, this is what it looks like. This is the Tbilisi Sea from the airplane. And that, that's the main city, back kind of that direction towards the river there. But it stretches out quite a ways. You can see it goes up to the north and all the way around this reservoir. And kind of all the way up that river. Quite a ways, different towns and things like that. Yeah, there's quite a bit that we didn't really see. That was just kind of the main downtown area. All right, let's see if I can establish where I want to go here. Okay, so where I want to be for this particular street is right, yeah, we're heading right to it. It's right there. It's roughly right here. Roughly right there. We're gonna fly right over it. 1.2 million population. Yeah, that's the thing about cities. We flew over in Bulgaria, the Sofia, yeah. They usually have one giant city, like where a huge percentage of the population lives, or lives within like 30 miles of, and that's pretty common. But then, then there's a lot of people living out in the countryside. But yeah, you don't get a lot of choices in terms of if you want to live in a metropolitan city that's kind of modern, has all the amenities of a modern city. You may only be able to live there. Okay, you're up here on the other side of the water. There's a pretty major, noticeable street here. In fact, I believe it's this bridge over here, right? If I might not be wrong. Let's see. It's either that bridge or this one. It's definitely a street that has a bridge. And there's some more structures there that I don't think are 100% correctly. This is a pretty major road here. But it is definitely, you can see it's not perfect. But it's representing, a major throughway here in the area. And it becomes such a busy street. You can see it's effectively divided. And then this area here. Okay, hold on a second. I want to see if I there's like a green kind of parkway in between those areas here. Lots of trees. That's kind of pretty. Hold on a second. I want to see if I'm anywhere near where I think I am. Okay, it's a little further up. But yeah, this street here is the one you mentioned, right here. We're flying. We're gonna do a little urban candy carving down the street. That's what Google Maps says is, get out now and start waving stuff. See, the problem is this was 9 hours earlier. So not only are we in a virtual world, but we're also in a time machine. It's nighttime where you are, but this is obviously daytime. All right, we'll figure it out. Just go outside and start waving. I'm sure we'll see you. But yeah, no, this is your street. I looked it up on Google Maps. I'm sure if you're familiar with this area, you're like, yeah, that's what it does. It makes all these stuff, and then there's lots of residential apartment style buildings. But then it kind of goes up to the hills. Yeah, well, that's always fun. I mean, I love that. I love that. I think more people should come on the thing and say, "Will you fly over this intersection?" Because I get a kick out of it. Obviously, you know, people do too. And it's not like we get a huge crowd around here. Well, there you go. It's a beautiful day in Tbilisi. I believe I have live weather turned on. I'm gonna try to make this turn here. But of course, I changed the time of day because flying at night, you really don't see a lot. I'm gonna check this here. Oh no, I don't have live weather turned on. Let's see what it'll take. Give it a second. It'll probably be a little cloudier, but let's just see. It's not showing clouds now. But give it a second. What it has to do, it has to look up what the weather is, then kind of interpolate it. Yeah, but according to this, it was a clear day. It could have been a very clear day. Let's see, right? Is that live weather? It may just not have calculated correctly. But again, it's nighttime there. It's in the real world. But yeah, it's very big, and again, with 1.2 million people, it's very spread out. But you can see they need you know, they have places where they can put reservoir and have water. It's not like a desert area. It's pretty green looking. It looks quite nice. Yeah, I wanted to go while we have a little time. We don't have a lot of time. It was sunny today. Okay, good. So yeah, no, it might have been a very clear day. I had it preset to a specific weather condition because yesterday I was trying to fly around and it was raining. And I'm like, well, that's no good. So I have the master control. It can either be set to whatever the live weather is based on weather reports or to a specific weather condition, and that's what I had it set on. But I usually prefer to have it set on live weather. Just kind of to see how it is. You mean this? You mean the beautiful blue Bluetooth controller or this plane? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, and all right, we got a main street that heads north. Well, it's I don't know. It's a real plane. Apparently, they really did make these, or do make these. It's called the Edgeley Optica. You can see it's Optica on the back there. Edgeley Aircraft United, which I think is a British company. But I'm not sure what the mission is. There's a big round building there, but I kind of think this might be a stadium that didn't get built out. And to me, this looks like a university or a school. Maybe not. I'm always looking for like field, like a track and field and stuff. Yeah, it's British observation work. Yeah, that's exactly the way to describe it. It's not very fast. A loiter speed of 130 is not that fast. But it's for observation. It's designed for observation. So it has these huge windows and all, you know, even in a window straight up. What do you know, what's there to look at in the sky, you know? But yeah, they got windows on the top. I always think that's a little extravagant. But no, it is a real plane. I just don't see like there's a, you know, that the world needs a whole lot of these. Yeah, that would be comfortable. I'm sure that would be. I mean, there are planes you can fly upside down in, and for long periods of time, actually. But I wouldn't say this one is. But yeah, it's a weird plane. It's an unusual design. Everything about it is kind of unique and different. Doesn't mean it's better. It's just different. But I kind of want to head up this river here. I think there's another kind of reservoir not too far. This is a big building over here. But see, okay, so the main areas of Tbilisi and the kind of the outlying Tbilisi metropolitan areas behind us. But this is the river. You know, the main geographical cause of the whole geography of this area. It's always water. This is the river. I just want to kind of check out the topology of the river. It looks interesting. It looks like there's an island up here. And that looks like some kind of control, like some kind of a dam or locks, probably a dam. And they may well, I mean, they have to basically when there's a large river upstream of a major city, you have to have some control over it, or you'll flood the city. Meaning a system of dams and reservoirs. And in the dry season, you want to have water. This is all very pretty. I wonder what's up here. Yeah, you can see parts of the river are natural and parts are canals. Well, we have a person who is from Georgia, the country, Tbilisi, Georgia, requested a flyover to Tbilisi. I was flying over like Trinidad and Tobago, Well, they're in Twitch though, not in not in. And so Tbilisi's way back there. We kind of flew over it. We're in that person's in Twitch, not in YouTube. By the way, I multi-stream to Twitch and YouTube, so there's kind of two different communities. But it turned out to be a lovely, lovely flight. Okay, so there's more like dam activity there. There's like 2 dams that allow for flood control, water control, and this effectively is like a reservoir. I'm not exactly sure which direction. I'm gonna guess it goes up this direction up here. But the cool thing is, it looks like there's an airport ahead that we can land at, and we can call it a day. By the way, Hobigal, great to see you. Thank you for dropping by. And Fort Jables, also nice to see you too. We will be starting the Big Brain Games in approximately 5 minutes after landing. Now we're overfueled. Oh no, we have this cool feature on this plane that you don't have other planes, which is called the fuel dump. And when you have the fuel dump, it actually shows fuel, atomized misting fuel, coming out of the back of the plane. I guess that's a real feature, come off the wing, these wings. And meanwhile, you can actually see your fuel go down, like 39%. You can see our fuel thing. We want to be a lot lighter for landing. And of course, normally you don't dump fuel over land. You do it over land. But I just like this feature. There's no other planes I know of in the game that have a working, except maybe some of the jetliners. Like none of the small planes that have a working fuel dump feature. Okay, once we get down to about 30%, we're at 33. And of course, losing fuel makes the whole plane lighter, so I can actually reduce power. Okay, 30%. All right, we're gonna go in here. We're gonna turn off the fuel dumper. There we go. And that cut off that little fuel dump there. But the reason you do that is because you're not supposed to land heavy. It's bad for the landing gear. I mean, it's just it's bad for the plane. And typically, you wouldn't have excess fuel. You'd have calculated the right amount of fuel that you needed for the flight. But we always kind of go heavy. So anyway, there's this major highway coming in from the city here. And there's lots more stuff. This is that river. Still going. Okay, so it says Natakstari Airfield. I'm sure I'm mangling the pronunciation. But anyway, the reason why I did this is I'm trying to avoid major cities because I've just been having so many technical issues. Yesterday was so incredibly, the whole stream was scuffed. I tried flying, an update to the Concorde, my Concorde, which I like flying, but it's a massive plane in terms of how much memory it needs, and it missed on my simulation. There's a bunch of things here which, these could be salt evaporation ponds. It's a very common, or some kind of pond. It wouldn't necessarily be salt, because this is to be fresh water. But there's something going on here. It does look like a whole lot of, maybe they're growing rice? This is an interesting kind of whole setup here. Because you can see it goes up quite a ways. Where they have these are all obviously man-made rectangular water formations that they flood using the river water, which is right there. And I'm not sure if it's for storage or some kind of, maybe they're farming like fish farms. Is that possible? Because look how far up this goes. I mean, there's a huge valley. This is really interesting terrain. It's very pretty. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, we both thought it. You typed that before I said it. Remember, there's like a 10-second delay. I'm thinking maybe it's like freshwater fish farms. Like this is freshwater. I'm not sure what you fish, what you farm, but that's typically, I would think, why you would have these separate ponds like this. But these are not natural formations. They go up a long way. Here, we're gonna land right over there. All right, let's land over there right now. We're gonna land right now. We're just gonna pop down the flaps, cut down the engines, and land on this little airport here. Or right here. Don't need to maneuver. But it was a very interesting area. That was super cool. I hope it was cool for you. All right, we gotta cut the engines down. We're gonna land at this airfield. So I don't know if it is military or just a general aviation field. It's hard to tell. This is what it looks like from here. All right, I'd like everyone to please put your tray tables in the upright and fasten positions. Make sure your seatbelts are firmly fastened. I don't care what you do. Go upside down, throw drinks around. I don't know, drop your trousers. I don't care what we're doing while we're landing. Put your tray tables down. I don't even care. It's that kind of airline. It's a low-budget airline. We don't care what you do with your tray tables while you're landing. And there we have returned to terra firma safely. Oh my god. I'm sweating. No, actually, I'm pretty good with that. Brakes on. Should we just turn around here? I don't see there's much of anything. I guess we're going to have to turn around here. Take a sharp turn here. Give us the gas. I kind of want to see what the buildings are. The buildings look like down there. Again, usually these smaller outlying GA airports, general aviation airports, are not that dynamic. Here we are here. It looks like she is a little. She's been. Looks like from the hair that she's been sweating a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Well, I think she's more worried about us molesting her than crashing a plane, and she should be. Yeah, I have no idea where this is, and this is pretty small. I like it. I like small airports in general. And again, there's not much here except refueling and a couple of hangars and a couple places to park your plane. Coming in for a park job. Oh, look. There's this guy right here. Oops. I went into the weeds and it slowed us down here. Let's get some power here. Here we go. More? Too early. All right, that's good enough. Close enough. All right, cutting this thing off here. Engine fuel valve cut off. Turn off all your switches. Switches are all to off, off, off. Magneto is off. That's this little key thing up here. Oops, off. There we go. You can't really open the doors. It's a cool looking plane though. I had a really fun time. As usual, I really enjoyed the flying around, and you never know where we're going to go. But it's a very pretty background there. Again, I don't know if I'll ever probably won't ever get the chance to go to Georgia, the country Georgia, and visit Tbilisi in the real world. But it's so great to be able to do it in the flight simulator. Like add that to the many hundreds of European and cities that I've actually flown over. And that one not being a very common one. I wish they would make show even more buildings that are iconic that people can see. All right, there's lots more streaming to do, but we're gonna move on to the next category and start doing some big brain games. So let me move into just chatting since we're not actually flying around. Now, if you enjoyed the flight simulating, there'll be more tomorrow and the day after. I always start off my stream with some kind of flight simulator segment. Okay, so we're just chatting. Let me get out of this main menu. Again, because we didn't fly a major city and the plane we're in is very low impact memory-wise. It is not a problem. I'm going to have a little Diet Coke, though. All right, second thing, let's see. Let's get the first big brain game loaded up. And that's just kind of a warm-up game for me, the Quirtle. Oh, yeah. Diet Coke. Noisy, plate, and crumb. Okay, so I use the same three starting words. Pretty easy to memorize these ones too, and that way you don't have to sit thinking, "Oh, what should my word be?" All right, what do we have here? Okay, we have an E to place, and on the lower left, and I kind of think it has to be deity, because I can't think of any other way you could have EITY. No, so that was easy, and then we have probably Slack, right? SLACK on the lower. I think that's going to be another easy one, right? We'll see. Slack. What else could it be? Oh, nice. And now we have upper right. This is just a warm-up game. It has to be drink. Now, here's the only one that has any kind of difficulty. Okay, and let's see. Could it be reset? It could be reset. I think it could be something else, too. But it was reset. Okay, that's what you call the starter game. Again, some of these games we can kind of work on as a community or together. If you're in chat and you want to suggest something, that's not one of them because it goes very fast. I mean, that's what I mean by warm up. But the next game is called The Revealed. It's a relatively new game from the fine folks at Britannica.com. Let's just dive into it. We get this heavily redacted document and a category, and we got to figure out who in this case, the person is. But we do know one thing or two things. Their first name has 6 letters, as does their last name. 2 6-letter names. Okay, and we get this heavily redacted document. So we're going to read this out and see if we can figure out who this person is. If you have any ideas, let me know. Okay, the person we're looking for, probably born August 27th, blank, 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 died September 5th, blank, blank, was the founder of the blank. We're going to have to see that. A blank, blank, of blank, dedicated to the blank, particularly to the blank of blank. She, this is a female person, that's a clue, was the blank of numerous blanks, including the blank blank. She was blank as a blank in 2016 by blank. Was she knighted? Or is a dame like a famous actress, probably, but not alive. The founder of the something. I don't think Joseph Stalin would work, although it does have 6 letters and 6 letters. And also, guesses are free. There's no penalty, but I'll show you. But we already know it's a female person. But you can see, you could type Joseph Stalin in, and it will say no, guess again. But that's fine. There's no penalty for guessing. I want to see the founder of this. I think it might be an actress. Oh yeah, several times. As a matter of fact, that was very common back then, though. People just didn't make a big deal out of it back then for whatever reason. Okay, somebody who said, okay, it's a female person, dedicated blank. Was it the? I bet this is going to be the American Red Cross, and it's going to be that. Let's just see though. Order the Missionaries of Charity. Okay. So could be, follow my logic here. Mother Teresa. Ooh. Okay. That's, yeah, really. Yeah, where's my paycheck? No, that's why we do the big brain game, so we can impress ourselves with how smart we are. Okay, born, baptized there, blah, 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 blah. Order the Missions of Charity. I think I heard of that. I think I'd already associated with that somewhere in my brain with Mother Teresa. Okay, let's compare our results. Stalin was a damn good guess. Joseph Stalin is the most successful. I mean, there's Stalin right there. Oh, that's Mother Teresa. All right. Other players needed 4.9 reveals and 1.7 hints. That's pretty hard, but about average. So you can compare our performance to other players. Oh, yeah, we did pretty good. But I did us. I mean, you eliminated Stalin from the possibilities. That's always moving forward. Your answer never went through. What did you answer? Did you get Mother Teresa in there? Yeah, I didn't see nothing. YouTube is bad about that. I mean, Twitch never loses chats, and YouTube is just like, I don't care. Maybe it'll get there in about 10 seconds, or maybe it won't. It's like sending mail. YouTube chatting is like sending mail. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, but, as I say, the only thing we can do is kind of, find out who owns YouTube. And I don't know. All right, the next game, this is one of the ones we do this in the same order. This is getting to be a hard one. I have to answer these as quickly as I can. So fortunately, I can cry about it if I want to. You can't really help because I can't, because the timing is so important. I can't really look at the chat. You think we'll get over it? I don't know. We'll have to see. All right. As soon as I hit that play, I gotta have some Diet Coke before we get into this. So this only takes a few minutes because it's got to be fast. 9-question multiple choice, and it's getting to be the hard one. So I have a feeling we could be screwed. Let's just find out. War elephants who appears. It was Hannibal who crossed the Alps with the elephants. Oh, I actually saw that. So I mean, that was fast. Phosphate flop during it was goal. Which event was it? Swimming? Oh, it was high jump. I did not know that. I was going to guess wrestling. That did not ring a bell. Wow, some of these are hard. Moving somebody from office. Disappoint would be the only one of those that makes any sense because you appoint somebody to office, so you could disappoint them from office. Novels and literally Doctor Who. Oh, that makes more sense. I was gonna guess. Well, since it's I was first of all I was gonna say Star Wars, but that's not an option. It says is workshop for the god Hephaestus, highest active volcano. I mean, that's the only one in that anywhere near that area. Etna, would you be flown over? It's not saying much because oh boy, this is gonna be hard. Invisible devices, infrared. What? Remote controls don't use infrared anymore. All right, I'm gonna get over it, but that was hard. Yeah, you were right with that one, by the way. Remote, but better luck next time. I'm not gonna try this again. It's no point going through it a second time. It is what it is. But I will be doing the quiz again tomorrow because they will have a Sunday quiz. They've been getting harder with the trivia quiz. Those weren't necessarily super hard, but they were up there. I mean, again, it's like trivia. Either you know or you don't. But you were right. TV remote, I thought TV remote, but then I'm like too obvious. And don't tanning beds use infrared? But I guess tanning beds don't. They're ultraviolet. So that wasn't a great answer. Yeah, of those only the remote control could potentially use infrared. All right. Well, there's another game we're gonna play. It's called the Reunion. We got 3 more games to play. We're only like halfway through the games. Well, yeah, no, yeah, exactly. No, I know. You see, the problem is modern remote controls, like this one, like my remote control for my Apple TV, don't have infrared. You know what I mean? They don't need it anymore. They're kind of going past it. All right, so this game is kind of like a crossword puzzle, except that you don't get clues. You just got to suss out what these words are. From looking at the letters, now we do get the clues in that the green letters are in their final position. Yellow letters are not in their final position, but are in the right row and or column. And white letters are neither in the row or column. They'll have to move out of where they are to be in the final position. But we already have some good clues up here at the top. The first 2 letters of the top word are M-E, and this D has to appear in the row somewhere. So it's either M-E-D. Oh, right, and there's a squirrel and a fox. If you haven't seen this game before, it's going to be kind of confusing. That's what it's called. At the end of the game, the squirrel and the fox will be next to each other. That's why it's called Reunited. And they take up space, so they'll break up words from like a 7-letter word into a 3-letter word, or into various different kind of unpredictable ways. All right, this word up the top, it's either MED something something or ME something something D. Those are the only choices. I think it's going to be medic because we do have an I available for this column. And we do have a C available. So if I move this D, and so what happens is if I move the D to where the fox is, he's going to move there. But that's if I'm right, it'll turn green. Okay, it turned green. Yeah, you kind of have to play this a million times. I played this for like a month before I tried to play it online because I already wanted to know what I was doing. But I think this word, well, it could be media, but then there'd be 2 A's. And I think it has to be medic. And we do have an I and a C available. So I'm going to move this I here. It should turn green. Excellent. And I just want to make sure it can't be any other words except for medic, right? Medid, yeah. Medim, yeah, okay. It has to be medic, okay. So that's good. So we move. By the way, the object of this game is to get everything in green in 17 moves or less. And you can't go backwards. If you do something wrong, you can't go, oops, I want to try to get. Every move is committed. So that's why we're going slowly and trying to guess things. If you get it wrong, it's not the end of the world, but it'll help. It'll kind of, it's already hard to get this in 17, even if you do a perfect game. All right. We knew some other things like this word where it says SNOR. Now the word is not snore because the N can't be there. It's either at the beginning or at the end, and I kind of think it's at the end. So this end's probably where the fox is. But I don't know. It could begin the word. Yeah, I don't think porn is going to be there, but let's just see. I think, yeah. Okay. I don't know for sure what this word's going to be, but I did think it likely ended in or in. And that's what I mean. You don't necessarily have to know the whole word. You kind of use your instincts. Um, but now we should be able to fill out what this word is. CA something, INE something. I can't think. And the G is probably not there. Oh, I think I know what's going on here. I think this bottom word is ghost, GHOST, and the word on the right is going to be cabinet. Okay, we're doing really well. It's not canines, it's cabinet, and this word's ghost. This is going to be really good because um, we got two green letters in one word, and it's going to be cabinet. Okay, we're moving really good. We're making really good. We should get this in 16 if we do this in perfect. Because now I know there's another O somewhere right here, and this O can go at the bottom where the hedgehog is to make ghost, right? Yeah, that's the only thing that can be. So again, now we do 7 words, but again, each time a letter turns green, that's a product. That means we're doing the right direction. Let's see here. I don't think this S is going to go where the fox is, right? Because it can't be anything. So that means this. So. Let's see. I think this word on the left might end in ing. Oh, but could this word be adorn? ADOR. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at my. I saw that in my a vision there. I'm thinking the same way you are. Maybe this word where that thing is because we do have an A and a D that could go there. Well, let's try moving the A and see if it turns green. Okay. Yeah. Now it has to be. Oh, right. Because we don't have a C. It can't be acorn. And we have a D that has to go somewhere. So let's try adorn. Okay, that's good. Very good suggestion. Excellent. This is a group game. We can all work together to get this going here. Okay, so doesn't it in ing? Um, and this S has to go there. Is it Mustang? Yeah, because we have an S M U. No, because the S can't go there. Oh no, but the S could go there. MUS. This T could go there, and there's an N. Dip throat. Yeah, yeah. We'll try dip throat after we see if it's Mustang. All right. So this S is going to turn green if I'd go here. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this T. By the way, you think it should be yellow, but it should be white. And then we also have a D. Oh, you're working on a cross-stitch project. Oh, cool. Well, when it's done, drop a photo in the Discord. How's the bass playing going, by the way? All right. We got 12 moves. We could get this one in a record 15, I believe, right? Because we only have 3 letters to go. And again, we have to, it's tricky because I'm not 100% sure. I think the fox and that thing are going to go there. So it's going to be, oh no, they're going to go where the R is there. So, oh, no, maybe not. Maybe they'll go where the R and the M is to make sip and primo. No, promo and sip. Okay, so the final 2 words are promo and sip. The R is going to go, well, let's put the I here. The R is going to go here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how we go. And then you'll see the last thing is the 15. That's a real big win. 17 is good, but 15 is a real big win. You see, by the reason they call it units, by the end of every game, the fox and the hedgehog are next to each other, but not necessarily. You don't know where they are, but you know they're adjacent, either horizontally or diagonally, and you see how there's space taking up space. So there's no. So you need to kind of. Oh, you're thinking is there a word that starts with SIP and ends in B or something? But no, there isn't. And this also word you're thinking of dip promo. You know what this word been? Well, it ended up just being promo.
It's interesting. Once you play this a few times, you get the zen of it, kind of. But that was a big win today. So we didn't get the. I did not win the the trivia game, but this is an excellent result on the reunion game. And the next game is a game that we can all play together. I always enjoy doing it as a group if we can. It's called the New York Times Connections. It's a game in which they give us 16 words and/or short phrases. And what we have to do is determine the 4 affinity groups that the 16 words and/or short phrases belong in. But they don't tell us what the affinity groups are. Oh, okay, yeah. But if you know the answers, then if you've done this earlier today, then yeah, we do. You don't need to help out. But if you haven't, you're welcome. I mean, you can. It's what am I going to do? But yeah, there's no fun in like just giving away the answers. And also, it's just a game. We don't care. I don't care. Okay. Hey, let's read this. A haystack, pitchfork, copper, ocean, cast iron, enamel, hurly-burly, nail, dick, Chuck E. Cheese, hair, crowd, gumshoe, skin, million, and flatfoot. Okay. Flatfoot, copper, gumshoe. These are slang terms for police officers. And I'm thinking dick is too. A dick is a detective, right? Hey, are you trying to help there? You are truly you're a character, damn it. I'll have to come over there and I don't care. All right, but obviously this is obviously, come on, this has got to be right. This is slang for officer, for laws, old timey slang. All right, cast iron could be a kind of stove. Pitchfork and haystack seem to go together. Things in a barn. But what else would be in a barn? Let's see. Skin, hair, nail, and enamel seem to go together as parts of your body parts. Right? I don't think anything else outstanding there. So that body coverings. Okay. Chuck E. Cheese is in a barn. Yeah, okay. What you're saying is that Chuck E. Cheese has a barn aspect to it. So what you're saying is, but then what would you go in there? Like a hurly-burly? That's where you got molested as a kid. Obviously, that had a big effect on you in your current life too, because you're pretty messed up. But yeah, it happens. It's all right. It's no big deal. I mean, we all are. I don't necessarily like putting these together. I don't think this is right. But let me just think about it. Let's just shuffle this. Because and by the way, I think we're getting to the phase where it's an antecedent and precedent word, like ocean beach, or crowdsource, crowdfunded. Let's see. Cast. I think, okay, now I think what we got here is Chuck E. Cheese is to chuck something, is to throw it. To pitch something is also to throw it. To hurl something is to throw something. And to cast something is also to throw something. Starting with synonyms for throw. All right, so that's what you call perfect. Now, again, we don't need to figure out what this last affinity category is. Yeah. Why are you messed up? Because you got a list as a kid at the Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, you know what I mean? That could do it, don't you think? I mean, as far as I know, it's in the manual. All right, what's this last one? The ocean something, ocean, crowd, million, and haystack. 1 in a million. Oh, you can get lost. Getting lost in a crowd, 1 in a million, lost, needle in a haystack. Things you get lost in. Right, or you just said that. Things you get lost in, things. I mean, it's good to know, but you're absolutely right. Things you get lost. Masses in idioms? That's how you describe that? Masses in idioms. That's the most idiomatic thing I've ever heard all day. Crowd, haystack, million, and ocean. I would say you could describe that as things you get lost in. You get lost in a crowd, you get lost in a haystack, you get lost in a million, you can get lost in the ocean. Whatever. Look, it's a perfect result. Hey, there's one more game, but this is just effectively a closing octoral game here. I do these every single day, and there's like 5 of these. But I like to do these because whatever. I do them every day, so it's content. All right, so this word here is likely on the lower left. It's going to be L-A-C-K, but what could it be? It could be clack or flack. It can't be black. I'm going to try flack. I'll be mad if it's not an F. It's not an F. Oh, well. All right. Well, hey, it was a good guess. What about this one? Could this be poker? Yeah, it could be poker. I bet it's poker because it fits. We have all the letters, and we know it starts with P. All right, we got one. This word also ends in ER. And this word has to be stoke on the upper right, S-T-O-K-E. We get that one. And then this one here, we know there's an L. So it could be lever, L-E-V-E-R. Or it could be E-L-E-R. I don't see an E-L-E-R word. And it couldn't be L blank E-E-R. So I think it's either L-U. Oh, it could be ulcer? No. No, because the L can't be there. I think it's going to be lever. I think, oops, it wasn't lever. All right, well, this was a hard one today. You got it. Sometimes you just got to take your guesses. What's that? This word ended up being clack with a C, I think, right? And this word here is going to be shack. Oh no, it could be smack. Let's wait a second. It could be an N. It's always tricky when I don't use my starting words because I don't remember which letters have been used. All right, we know this word is L-E-R. Oh, it could be ruler. I think it's got to be ruler if it's not lever. That'll give us the U. We'll get a few more of these. Where's the U used? Just there. Okay. And that word could just be something like jelly. All right, I don't have all day. Let's just guess jelly. Nobody's got all day. It was jelly. Let's see. This still could be shack or smack. All right. Okay, holding off on that one. All right, now this word ends in R. Interesting. Yeah, by the way, 5-letter words. Yeah, the rat molested you. Well, that's Chuck, isn't it? Art. Let's see. So it's either T. Okay, and there's no vowels here. Oh, I. T-I-R something Y. Or I-R-T-Y. Could be dirty. D-I-R-T-Y. That makes some sense, right? I know it's I-R-T-Y, but it could be anything else. No, it's got to be dirty. All right, good. Good. Let's see. We got 2 more guesses in 3 words. We're not going to complete it, but I do want to get the last 2 here. Those are... Okay, what's this one? And it's this one here. We know where the T is. There's an R. We know where the R is, too. The R is in position 2. So it's R, probably R-U-T. And then what? Because there's no other vowels except for U, right? So U-T-H, R-U-T-H. Has to be truth. Got it. Okay, so now the fact that used an H, but we hadn't used the H or the M before, so it could have been smack or shack, but now we know it's shack. And I know this word here on the left is clack with a C. All right, let's just do shack, but we don't have enough guesses. As I mentioned, I only get about 60% of these, but we knew it was clack. We just didn't get the guesses. So close. I only get about 60, so I feel good when I win them. And as usual, the big brain games are a mixed bag. And I like it that way. Again, if they're all super easy every time, I wouldn't find it fun and interesting. All right, well, that ends the first, basically, half of the show, of the regular show, in the regular order. I'm going to start running my mid-roll, during which I will be madly at high speed setting up my piano. I got to put my stand down. I got to put the piano in. I got to plug everything in, like a bunch of wires to plug in. I got to change the lighting. Got to change the mic. It's fun. I just do it every time. But let me get that going after I have a little Diet Coke for energy. All right, here's my mid-roll. Oh yeah, first I want to go into the correct category, which is music. So I will be performing the live music. All right, then we're going to the mid-roll. Hello, welcome back.
if you stuck around, there's going to be some music playing, live music from me. Let me set up my little Ken's Piano Lounge camera here. That's about right there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's just see if the piano works even. Wait, hold a second. Gotta turn off the speakers so I'm only using the output. Okay, that's better. You're welcome. Frenchie's Cafe. It's a warm-up song, but yeah. Okay, so what is you might be asking at this moment, you aren't, but you might be. What is Ken's Piano Lounge? Lounge Act song list. Hey, if I hadn't had this piece of paper with me, I would not know what songs I have fully memorized. All right, but in this case, let's say a little prayer. Why not? Let's try it. Welcome to Ken's Piano Lounge. If you don't have a drink already, go ahead and get yourself. I'm having some Diet Coke. You know, it's almost 1 p.m. here. All right, next song is from Joe Jackson. It's called "Breaking Us in Two." I don't know if people know the song, but I like it. flash dance for you there. Oh, Girl from Ipanema. Why not? Run with there. What do I want to do next? Oh, we're gonna skip ahead a little bit till Billy Joel. Cold on these. Short version of Just the Way You Are. Fine. It's fine. two of us. That was earlier. This is called Misty. Well, I didn't. Just the way you are by Billy Joe. Misty is by Johnny. Well, Johnny Mathis is the singer. I don't even know who the composer of Misty is. It's just a lounge piano song. All right. Next song is by Paul Williams for the Carpenters. It's called "We've Only Just Begun." I don't think so. I think he might have covered it. He probably covered it. I don't think it's original. Yeah, they're all Billy's songs. It was a great song to get listened to. Of course, that was "We've Only Just Begun" by Paul Williams for the Carpenters. The next song is called "Can You Read My Mind?" Can You Read My Mind? This is from the original Superman the movie, 1978, and it was written. John Williams scored to that movie and wrote the song. I'm not going to sing it. That John Williams, the famous one. Could be. Nobody who's ever seen them together? You know what I'm saying? John Williams is one of the most famous film composer of all time. Arguably more famous than Billy Joel. Right, let's do a little instrumental version of a Sheryl Crow song. Not Billy Joel. Might be Billy Joel. I don't know for sure. All right, next song is called Walking My Baby Back Home. It's from 1935, actually. It's a really breathable song. Before Billy Joel was born. No, it wasn't. Thanks for the engagement. Supposed to. That's exactly the effect. What do you think's making me? Thank you. All right, a couple more songs to do from the old lounge piano list here. I am the lifelong Billy Joel. That is very true. That's absolutely true. I'm available. Can I play something Bossa Nova? No, technically, by the way, Girl from Ipanema, which I played the second song, is Bossa Nova, but I'm not going to play it again. I'm really going to play one more song, which is this one here. It's called Up Where We Belong. It's from a movie called The Officer and Gentleman. It's a I used to be able to. righty then. That's probably going to be it for the old musical section of the game. Hey, it's such a great stream today. Lots of really interesting stuff happening. Every time I stream, I'm like, I never know what's going to happen. It's going to be interesting. I don't care really. It could be boring. It could be interesting. And the point is, I get it done. You know, I get what I wanted to get accomplished, achieved in the stream, which is play some piano, do some big brain games, and fly around. Had a great time. In fact, I had such a good time. This is going to shock people who've ever seen the stream before. To this part of the stream, I'm going to do the whole darn thing again tomorrow. Pretty much exactly the same. I'll be flying around, starting around the same time, flying around. There's going to be the big brain games, and for the musicals category tomorrow, it's going to be Rocksmith bass. So I'm going to whip my Rocksmith bass out there. My bass, well, the bass, it's a regular bass. Whip it out. Be playing alongside actual songs. That episode will not get into the VODs on Twitch. You can watch it on YouTube though. But until then, I'm going to take this off. Ooh, there we go. Until tomorrow and the day after. It's going to be 2 days in a row, basically the same thing. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. See you next time. Bye.